Yeah, I have a short little experience that I had a couple of nights ago. Uh, in this experience, I would be what was like a foreign planet or like a different planet, and it was very sandy. At least the part that I was in, it was something like a desert, but the sand wasn't golden like the sands on the earth. They were more kind of like a rusty orange in a way. It's kind of how they look, like a rusty orange. And in this desert, they had built something like a camp, something like an encampment, and there was all these tents around. There's probably a dozen tents in any direction. And running right through the center of this encampment were all these boards. They put down these boards to make something like a pathway in the sand, so you're not just walking on sand and sand. They try to make it look like a city or something, kind of more adjusted in that sense. So they built this little path, and at the end, and I remember walking along this path, and at the end of it, it came to something like a circle. Maybe it was like the center of this town. And around this circle were gathered all these people from all these tents. They were the citizens of this little tent city or whatever the case was, and they were throwing these rocks. They had these rocks and they were throwing them at this robot character. Kind of looked like almost like a robot out of the Terminator, but it was benign. It wasn't like what is the word, malevolent, like had ill intent. It was just like any other being. It was just trying to survive. And because it was a piece of technology, not sure if foreign to their world, but they had this hostility towards it. So they were throwing these rocks at it, trying to destroy it. And I remember watching this. No one really noticed me passing by, but I remember watching the scene, and I had this very clear decision that I could intervene or like stand up for the robot, or I could just keep walking by. And I remember I decided to step in and basically kind of confront the crowd as to why they were throwing these rocks at him. I remember I stood in front of the rocks, and they were kind of shocked to see me there. They didn't really understand why I did that, but I just told them, he's done nothing wrong. He's just trying to survive. And in that moment that I had decided to step in and step in front of these rocks and these people, I looked at the robot on the ground because he was kind of like hunched over because they were just pelting him with these stones. And I knew, at least I had the impression that he was going to be very beneficial for certain projects on the real side, certain little project because of his state of being, which is this mostly hardware and coding. So just thought that was an interesting little experience to share. Thank you.
Earth Day is every day, while on Earth, Duane the Great Writer. The real focus should be to preserve the all-natural reality that is supporting all of us here. We have all come through a lot from so many lifetimes of struggling and suffering, and now we all is in a new moment of the real opportunity of the new nowness all life is. Duane the Great Writer, Seer, is providing what is very necessary to help improve the essential all-natural environment, and that is how to become more aware than all of creation. With the real awarenesses of each individual, a new view can occur to be able to see far more than just the same old literal programming.